This is the one. Okay, oh, sorry. Why is it? Okay. It says that basically my question is regarding to Khaja Kamaluddin. I recently found that Rashid Rida had praised him in his Manar magazine. In your view, it is right to takfir the Lahori Jamaat. Okay. First of all, brother, when it comes to the issue, there are two things here. One is that Rashid Rida praising someone. So what? It doesn't prove or disprove anything. At the moment, my topic is not Rashid Rida. Otherwise, I could give you the problems in his thought process as well, that how he was going absolutely off track when it comes to, even for example, in this case, even in this case, he is not on the path of Ahlul Sunnah, Rashid Rida himself. So don't forget this important point on the case, on the issue of death of Isa. And by the way, Rashid Rida and these people, they are very recent people. Okay, they are very recent. They just been in the recent past. And always understand one thing, brother Shadman. Understand one principle. If something has been established in the first and earliest generations of Islam, Prophet's generation, people around him, companions, their students, and then their students. This is called Khairul Qurun, the best time of Islam. If something is established as a belief in those best three generations, somebody later on comes and he goes against that, it has no value. There are two things. One is that somebody says something in addition to that, that's okay. If he's not contradicting them, and whatever he's saying is not going against any of other Islamic principle, then it's fine. Because we don't claim, we don't say that Quran is only for the people of the past. No, we don't say that. Because Quran is a living book, and the miraculous nature of the Quran would keep revealing itself in every time and age. But there are conditions. Condition first and foremost is you cannot come up with a interpretation of the Quran which goes against the interpretation of the first three generations. Number one. Number two, you cannot interpret a verse of the Quran in a way that you end up creating, you can say, contradiction or creating the chaos with the other verses of the Quran or with the other teachings of Islam. You can't do that. If these two things, and third thing is, if you want to take more, because it is called in technical term, it is called tafsirul Quran bil rai, that you are interpreting the Quran with your opinion, i.e., you are not bringing something as a narration. And when it comes to opinion, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because tafsirul Qurani bil rai, it has two categories. One is called Mahmud, it's praiseworthy. But one is called Mazmoom, it's blameworthy. So when it's praiseworthy, if it's adding more academic points into the existing interpretation. But if it goes against the early interpretation, number one, and or it goes against any of the other teachings of Islam and Quran, or if it is not within the scope of the language. I mean, somebody might be saying something very good, very nice, but the language of the verse itself has no room for the interpretation, because I don't want to name anybody. There are many people right now, they are very famous on the YouTube. People love them a lot, okay? But when you listen to their interpretation, they are saying good things, but that thing is not coming from the text. The language does not permit that. So they have their own philosophy, which may be good or bad, but they are reading that into the text. Okay? So what I'm saying is that Shadman Bhai, because the question was very important. So that's why I gave the whole background. Now I give you the one liner of the first part of the question. And that one liner is that any interpretation of the Quran which goes against the earliest interpretations coming from the three generations, that will be rejected. Now,